money soldier. I thought I told you. Only rocking with the agent and the broker. Yeah, move over. We getting bolder. Making moves like the agent and the broker. Yeah, generational wealth, they bout that. Yeah, we took some L's, but we bounced back. Financial literacy, got that. Closing up the wealth gap, yeah, I'm black. Welcome to the Agent and Broker Podcast, hosted by Julian and James. And you know they bringing nothing but that black boss talk, man. Cause there's no currency stronger than the black dollar. And it's time we let the world know. But first we gotta grow though, and that's for sure.
Peace, family. What's up, James? What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm doing great, brother. How are you? How's everybody out there doing?
Man, I am blessed, bro. I'm good. A little energized. Try to let you feed all my energy today.
Hey, man, that's a great idea.
You feel me?
Great idea.
Yes, sir. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Thank you for tuning in and welcome to another episode of the Agent and Broker Podcast. I am your co-host, Julian, the agent, license W626089 in Eatonville, Florida.
And I am James Dennis, your license number W282336 down here in Florida.
Yes, sir. And we at once again another week, another episode, y'all. We about to get into it. We want to break down some good information, you know, a good topic we had tonight and a common topic that's in the insurance world. And we hear it all the time when we go on the field. We talk to people about life insurance and we always get this feedback or the same response, man. I got insurance through my job. I got this through my work. You know, I have life insurance and all of that. So what we want to do tonight is we want to explain, you know, the background and the things about life insurance through your jobs, giving you guys, you know, some different perspective and everything.
Yep, absolutely, man. I'm looking forward for this because a lot of time people have this work insurance, man. They think it's enough. And today we're going to unpack quite a few things, some common question that has been asking to us. And then you can have a better understanding, you know, because it's good to have work insurance, but is it enough? And how does it actually work? So we're going to unpack a lot of things tonight, and I hope you guys are ready.
Absolutely. We hope y'all ready. If you're not, it is what it is. We still bringing that phone.
There you go.
Yes, sir. So, all right, let's kick it off, man. I don't think we have any updates over the past week on, let me see, no updates. No, I mean, we have some news, but we'll just go, I'll put a whole new episode to that. But
right,
anything else, you know, that we didn't cover before we jump in, bro?
No, not really. I think we cover everything. Yeah, just want to go straight into these questions and make sure we educate everybody that's listening. And if one thing I know you always mention, and I always mention at the beginning of the shows, is always thank you for all the downloads. We get downloads from different countries. We was looking at the data. It was pretty cool. So we want to say thank you for the downloads and share this because it means the world to us to get this message out there to educate, you know, our population, the youth, the next generation, and you know, the generation before us as well. You know, we end up doing a lot of coaching, mentoring, and teaching to them, because there's a lot of things they have missed simply because they was busy working, and, you know, people never expose this opportunity to them about, you know, using their money for retirement, all that stuff. So we just want to say thank you from the bottom of our heart for all the downloads, and keep sharing this great information.
100%, man. I agree. And appreciate every one of you for downloading, listening, and feel free to give us feedback, what you want to hear, you know, ask questions. Like, we'd be open to answering your questions and bringing that on the podcast every week. So, you know, like James said, it's exciting to see, you know, how many people are downloading and listening to this podcast. And, And when we look at, analytics, it's all across the world, Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, Australia area. Like, it's a lot of places, man. Like, so we're getting around the entire world with it, man. And I'm excited.
Very, very excited.
To even get this information to the world. So we're going to keep bringing it to y'all and covering different things that you don't really hear people talk about, and they don't go into depth into. So
yes, sir. Yes, let's dive into it, man. Let's answer some of these questions.
Let's do it. Okay, so first question is, what is group term insurance, y'all? Group term insurance, or what is work insurance? Really, most of the time when you have work insurance, maybe about like 8 to 9 out of 10 times is going to be group life insurance. That's a very cheap type of insurance, but basically group life insurance is a type of life insurance where multiple people gain coverage as a group, and a group of people is pretty much less risky for an insurance company than an individual to get covered in most cases. So group insurance can be very inexpensive compared to getting a life insurance policy on your own. And most people pretty much find that group life insurance through their employers. So whether you're working at, for the government, or you're working at a regular corporation and you're full time, you have those benefits. You sign up for life insurance with the company. So that's most likely, if it's with the company and it's very cheap, that means it is most likely a group term policy. So you also find those with like the trade unions, if you're working at one of those, or any like small organizations. And wherever you like find that group life insurance, just make sure you read the fine print and understand the cost, the death benefit, and like any of the policy limitations and stuff. But that pretty much covers what group life insurance is. Group term insurance, which is also known as work life insurance, what everybody talks about when they get it.
Absolutely. And it's a great thing. I mean, when your job, you're working for an institution and they offer that type of plan, it's a good thing. It's a very good thing, and it's a fortunate thing. And like Julian says, it's very cheap. And some employers actually come out as an employment package, where you get a small death benefit, and you don't even pay anything for it. So it's definitely a plus. But like I said, we're gonna unpack exactly how this plan work and what to look out for, so you can educate yourself, so you can be mindful. If you have work insurance right now, you don't have personal insurance to know what to watch out for, or if your work doesn't offer any life insurance, which is major, you need to get life insurance on your own. But we're gonna go over a lot of information for you today, so you can understand it a bit better.
For sure. So like, James, can you like let them know, how does that group, or how does work insurance work in group term insurance with your job? How does it work?
So pretty much how these things work, I want you to think of an umbrella. Okay, thinking of an umbrella, a big umbrella, where you're holding that umbrella and there's maybe 3, 4, 5, 7 people under that umbrella with you. So which means you covered under that umbrella, and even if the rain is coming, you're good because you covered. So pretty much your job has a contract with an insurance company to protect you under the umbrella. So which means with that contract they have with your job, pretty much say, hey, whoever works for me full time, for example, they're going to receive $10,000 of death benefit, or they're gonna pay only $2 for that $10,000. So because you are covered under that umbrella, which means it's all the little premium putting together under that umbrella that's paying the main premium to the main company. So which means this is why typically these plans are very, very cheap and very, very affordable, is because the premium is really divided into so many people, So really the term of group life insurance is literally you cover under a group or under a big umbrella, and then you have a small contribution for that coverage, which means one thing you have to consider as well, because it's a group insurance, it does not belong to you. It belongs to the employer, 9 out of 10 times. So the policy is not for you. And that's why right now, if you have work policy, work insurance, I can ask you right now, hey, go under your mattress or go under your safe cabinet and pick up that policy for me. Let's look at it. You won't have that policy 9 out of 10 times, simply because it belongs to the employer. You know, so it's a good benefit to have. However, it doesn't belong to you.
That's a good point. A very good point, because you'll hear people say, I have insurance, like through my job. No, your employer has insurance on you. You don't have insurance. You don't own the policy. And a lot of people kind of get that misconception there on what they do have. Or maybe if it's not 10,000, that typical death benefit, sometimes it can be one time the agent's salary, or if they're on the salary type of job, it can be 1 times the salary or 2 times the salary, like depending on the industry, the type of job it is. So like if you're in a very risky type of industry like construction, so they'll give you a certain amount of money, up to probably about $150,000, just because you have so much risk there. But a lot of the people there get paid a lot of that money anyway, so it's literally like 1 to 1.5 times their salary of what they currently have. So yeah, it's honestly it's a good thing to have. So if your job offers the life insurance, I'm not against it or anything like that, but like James said, most of the times the employer owns it, so it's always best to have your own on the outside. Like, that's a better way to prepare yourself. And you don't know what will happen if you leave that job. You don't know what will happen if they fired you. You no longer have that insurance anymore. That's not yours. So like James said, the employer gets a group policy, an umbrella. You're under their umbrella, so they're covering you for a small fee from out of your check. Most of the time I will sit with somebody, and I'll be like, hey, here's some life insurance plans. I try not to even say life insurance, because it's life insurance. Oh, I have it with my job already. That's always the rebuttal. Like James said, then we go into, well, let me see that policy from your job. Oh, I don't have it, or I have to get back to you on that. They don't really know. People don't really know what they really have. They just know that they have something with their job, but really, in reality, you're putting your future or whoever else is after you, you're putting that your responsibility in your employer's hands. Instead of you taking the responsibility there and doing the necessary things you need to do and planning that you need to do to get you to where you need to be, and to help the people behind you if something does happen to you and you're no longer here on this earth. So having a group policy, nothing's wrong with it. We're not here to tell you that, oh, this is a bad thing to do. We're just trying to give you a different perspective on, okay, this is how life insurance through your employer works. It's a fairly simple policy. It's cheap. It's cheap for a reason.
Exactly. And one thing as a whole, what we have to look at, think of perspective. If there is 1,000 employees at your job and all that 1,000 employees have access to the same benefit, think about it. How much value can that really have?
Right.
If it's accessible to anybody and everybody has the same thing, it's a uniform plan. So which means it's kind of like a cookie cutter, and you just fit in that little box they put you, and you're just there. But there is no real value on there as if you actually was to purchase your own life insurance, where you have everything that comes with it, with the living benefits, where it's gonna do way more for you. Right. So you just think it in that perspective, man. 1,000 people all get the same coverage, all paying $2 a paycheck, $3 a paycheck is great. But just out of that alone, in that perspective, you can tell, okay, this must be something basic.
Yeah.
It must really be something basic.
Absolutely.
So if you're not a basic person and your family deserve better than basic, then hey, you already know that's not enough.
Right. 100%. And some of the good things I can say about it, honestly, of having that work plan, even though it is basic, you have coverage. So whether it's $10,000, $20,000, or $50,000, you have coverage. And most of the time with those plans, some good benefits that they do have. So we're not here to bash it. The good benefits are they're cheap. Again, it's very affordable. And then a lot of them don't have any underwriting process. So you can get insurance for you. And if you had major health benefits, you will be covered with the insurance from your job. Yeah, it's not a lot, but you do have that coverage. Another good thing is you can also, sometimes you can cover your children with those policies as well. So you can put them on as riders and give them insurance coverage through your job for a very small fee. So these policies do have benefits to them. You know, some benefits towards you as the employer, as the employee, but at the end of the day, it does benefit the employer more to have that policy out on their employers, because at the end of the day, if something does happen to you, they have to, you know, they have to find ways to replace you in the end of the day.
Yep.
They need money. So that group policy is best for them at the end. If they're going to go with a group term or a group insurance policy, it's best for them as a company. You know, they get cheaper rates on that. And if everybody's paying a small amount, hey, why not?
Exactly.
So
they benefit from that as well.
Benefits.
Of course. And it looks more attractive to somebody who's looking for a job too. You know, like, oh man, I got health insurance and life insurance in there. So you know, it's more attractive. It's really a retention benefit, so they can keep up with the marketplace, because whoever their competitors are, you know, if it's Walgreens and CVS, I don't know why that come to mind, right? But anyway, you're looking at their benefits. If one of them offer life insurance, you probably end up going with doing that offer life insurance. You know, if the other benefits are pretty similar.
Right.
You know, so it's really a retention tool as well for employees. But like Julian said, it's great if your work offer it. It's amazing. You just have to understand that the policy 9 out of 10 times don't belong to you.
Yeah. 100%. Like, if anything, like, I look at it like anything cheap. If it's cheap, man, I always like question it. Like, okay, this is super cheap. Everybody has it. What's the, you know, like the catch to this? So James, could you like explain that more into like what should somebody look for in their work policy when they get it, or before they get it? What should they look for when it comes to these policies?
Well, when it comes to these policies, when you getting that and it's actually in your package when you're starting the job, there's a couple things I would say to look. First and foremost, is there a portion of that that's free? Okay, because sometimes they have like 5,000, 10,000 that's for free. Second, you know, how much is it to add your kids into this policy? Okay, typically it's not a lot of money. You know, that's one thing to look at. And third, what is the maximum you can have? Because this is the thing, there's always a limit on these policies. Like right now, if you purchase your own policy, you can say, hey, I want to cover myself for $1 million, $2 million. We can help you make that happen. However, your work policy may allow you to only get $150,000 or $200,000. One of the reasons why is because there is no underwriting with most of these plans. And second, they restrict you based on your income. So which means if this job, 2 times of your income is $100,000, $150,000, and if they're gonna cover you for 2 years or 2 times of your income, then that's the maximum they will allow you to go. So these are the restrictions. So definitely, you look at if they have a portion of it that's free. Number 2, can you add your kids to it? How much is it going to cost? Can you make that really a family plan? And number 4, what is the maximum they allow you to get? I think these are some key components to look at on your life insurance, because think about it. If you work in a job, you have a house you purchased for $300,000-$400,000, but yet your work insurance will allow you to only get maximum $100,000. Worst case scenario, you die doing the time working at the job. Your family still have a $300,000 mortgage if your house was $400,000.
Yeah.
So which means you're underinsured. 9 out of 10 times, people with only life insurance from work, they underinsured. So,
agreed. And to add on to your what you were saying about being able to put your children on that policy, I had somebody that it was hard to get him insured. He had a lot of health issues, and somebody I used to work with, he did pass away, unfortunately, I think this year or last year. But I tried to get him coverage, and multiple companies was just like, yeah, no. He was getting denied. He was on over 15 medications, like multiple surgeries, a lot of health issues, diabetes, high blood pressure, all of these different medical issues. So his wife was like, you know what? I can put him on my work policy. So she did do that. So now he didn't have to go through the underwriting process. He did have some type of coverage through her job, which is always another strategy you can go if something does happen. It's hard for you to get coverage, and that's a lot of the different issues when it comes to having your personal policy. If you don't start early, you run into these problems of medical problems. And he was a bit older, probably in his 60s, and a lot of medical issues, health issues, where he suffered from a lot of different things. And then the last time he got COVID, he didn't make it through. And I was just like, dang, I can't believe he is gone. And I tried my best to get him a policy. It was just the insurance companies would not cover him. He was a high risk, and even if they did cover him, what would have happened was they would have just paid the premiums back plus a 10% fee, because he would have had a guarantee issue policy, meaning that in those first 2 years, if he were to pass away, the insurance company has that that contestability clause in there, where they can go back and review the policy. But since it would have been a final expense policy, he would have had a guarantee issue, meaning he had to had that 2-year waiting period before, if he passes away in that 2-year waiting period, they're not going to pay out that death benefit. So it still wouldn't have been beneficial if he would have got covered, because he would have got guaranteed. If he would have got the guarantee, he would have died within those 2 years. And just a very unfortunate situation. However, the work policy was there for them, for her to put him on that. So I can say that was a good thing.
That's a plus
there when it came to something else to add on. You can put your spouse on these policies, y'all. So your spouse and your children, for a certain fee, of course, but they do allow you to do that on these work policies. And some other stuff we wanted to touch on when it came to the work policies is why can't you really take these away? And James kind of touched on it earlier. You can't take them with you when you leave. And this is a big thing, because there's a lot of problems people run into when they retire, or when they switch jobs, or when they don't, when you're no longer working with that company. You don't even realize it, like that insurance, when you leave, that insurance doesn't leave with you. And if you're not financially savvy, or you don't know much about life insurance, you don't know much about benefits, you're really walking out here naked. You don't have any coverage once you leave that job. Even though you could have gave them 30 years of your life, you could have gave them multiple years, all of your time. Once you leave that job and you have that group policy, it's no longer in effect once you leave, and you no longer pay it anymore. So you can't leave that. I mean, you can't take that policy with you, is because it is like James said, is a group term policy. It's an umbrella. The company has that policy and they own that policy. You just come in and pretty much like, I don't want to look at it like this, but it's like a dog and its puppies. You just come on it and you latch on to the mama dog and to the mama's nipple. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just come in and latch on.
I love it.
You feel me? Like, that's how it is, man. Like, they're the main source, and then you just come in and place yourself into it. And then from there, if you leave, like, it's no longer yours.
Exactly.
No longer.
I have this young lady. She works for a major company, Julian, and she works in the claim department. One of the stories she shared with me is, and that's just to show you how much, we don't know what we don't know.
Right.
When we don't know when you don't know, if you're listening, when you don't know what you don't know, and somebody may know what you don't know, and they're willing to teach you things you need to know, you need to sit down and listen and don't be ignorant. But anyway, that was pretty cool. What I was saying, like, if you don't know what you don't know, that was pretty cool. But anyway, she explained to me, one of the stories she explained to me is, there's this lady, she called the center, and she was on the phone with her, very nice lady, and she said, hey, I called to make a claim because my husband passed away. And she said, okay, sure, we can help you. So it was from a working department, and they was working for a company. And when pull up the file, my friend looked at the screen and said, well, ma'am, your husband stopped working about 1.5 years ago. So the policy he had with the job is no longer effective. And she said, what do you mean it's no longer effective? She said, no, it's no longer effective because it was an employee benefit plan since he doesn't work there anymore. She was like, but he been working there for over 30 years. So you mean to tell me? And yes, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years don't mean a thing.
At all.
It don't mean a thing. So here she is thinking she's going to process a claim because the husband been working in there for a long time, believing that they had life insurance. But really, no life insurance. Because the moment you leave, it's gone. And 9 out of 10 times, if an employer, I'll say 8 out of 10 times, if an employer allow you to take your life insurance with you, once you get off that umbrella, you're going to have to pay full price for that policy if they allow you.
Right.
Sometimes, they may have a supplemental plan you are taking there, which most of the time, they're not fully life insurance. It's just really supplemental plans. They may allow you to take it outside of work. Sometimes the premium goes up. Sometimes it's still the same. It all depends on the contractual agreement your employer have with that insurance company.
Yeah.
But it was kind of sad listening to her saying that story to me, man, simply because people actually believe they have life insurance after they leave their job. And it's unfortunate. People have to find out the hard way. After a year leaving the company, no, there's no way. Like, it don't matter if you work for them for 50, 60 years. You left the company, you left your life insurance behind. So that's why it's important for you to get your own life insurance.
Yeah, it's extremely unfortunate, bro. Like, for him to pass away in that situation. And I know, like, sometimes there's like a certain period that you have to leave your job and convert that policy, right? In a certain amount of days that, like you were saying, you can sometimes transition that policy into your own policy, but you're gonna have to pay more.
Yes.
And you have a certain time period too to do that. But most people don't know that, man. Like, when people go into the benefits department, man, they go over the benefits so fast, and then most of the time you're just there to go to work and come in here and get the job done, and that's it. So you're not listening in the benefits meeting when they're going over all of this stuff.
Exactly.
You most likely, 8 out of 10 people is not reading the benefits. So you're not reading into the details of what you have at work, what type of policy it is, what happens if I were to leave this job, what will happen if I were to get sick and can't work anymore. Do I still have this insurance, or what does it do for me? I know some companies have the short-term disability, long-term care, different type of insurance clauses in their benefits. So, like, looking into your benefits, I challenge you guys, look into your benefits. Go into your policy, whatever your company has, whether it's online or in person. Request to see your life insurance. Look into it. If you need somebody to look into it, hit us up, DM us, send us a message, fill out an inquiry. Like, we would love to help, because if we can help you prevent disaster in the future, like, that helps us for what we're doing in our mission. Like that's what we literally, that makes us happy. You know, we feel fulfilled by doing that. So I challenge you guys to go into your policies at work, and you know, to continue to look into those. And if you need help doing that, feel free to reach out.
Exactly. I mean, we create this. The agent and broker, the number one mission is to add value to you. So that's why we're here. We are servant of our community. So I think you hit a real good point. Look at your policy at work, and at least know, can I take this out with me? And best case scenario, if I can take this out with me, how much really is gonna cost me? And how long do I have to actually make that transfer?
Right.
So all these things you need to know, because I mean we're so busy in working different things. We have family, we have responsibilities, we have this, we have that. Sometimes that's the last thing that's in our mind.
Yeah.
But a lot of time the last thing in our mind should really be the first thing in our mind. But society has a way to actually shape our thoughts, and where we actually give things, materialistic things, more value than ourselves. I mean, you think about it, man. This just to put things in perspective, just so I can back up what I said. You would ask somebody, anyone, let's just say a family man, you know, what is the most important thing to you? 8 out of 10 people would probably say family.
Right.
Okay, great. Now let's see if your action back up what you said.
Right.
How much money are you really investing in your family? When it comes to protecting them if you pass away, to replace your income, how much insurance you have for your kids? You know, let's unpack that. Oh, I have no insurance for my kids. Or you don't. Okay, I have $10,000 at my job and my wife don't have any life insurance. Oh, so you don't. So let me ask you, something happened to you, $10,000 will pay this mortgage for $400,000? No. So, okay, let's evaluate other things. How much money you eating out every month? Oh, $500 in food, huh? Oh, how much money you spending out in fun and out? Oh, $700 and having fun and taking trips and going to movies on a monthly basis. But yet you say your family is the most important things to you in life.
Right.
But you're not investing a dime on them. You know, this is the reality we speak to people about.
Absolutely, bro.
There is no BS around us. Around us, there is no BS. Like, your word need to match what you're saying. Like, the action need to match it. So we put people in very uncomfortable situations so you can see the picture. And it's not your fault. It's really not your fault. It's how society is designed. So you can put focus on different things. And one other analogy we have, you think about it, and I think I said that on the show before, and I said that so many times, is when you go to a dealership, you pick up a car. You can pay $20,000 cash for that car. If you don't have proof of insurance, they're gonna let you drive at the lot with it.
Right.
Whether you finance or you pay cash. Nope. Before you drive off, you need proof of insurance. Isn't that crazy? And think about it. Your home, your house, if you're a homeowner, before you actually get the key from the title company, from your realtor, one of the things the title company will check, do you have homeowners insurance? Why? You think because they care for you? No. If something happened to that house, has a big liability, they need to make sure they get their money back. They don't care about you. So to buy a car, you need insurance. To buy a home, you need insurance. But yet, you have a brand new, precious little beautiful baby in the hospital. All you need is a freaking car seat to take this baby out to the world. Think about it. A life does not need to be insured, but a freaking $20,000, $50,000 car needs to be insured. A house that can be, its material need to be insured before you actually get get your key to the house. But yet your precious little baby, no life insurance. All you need is a freaking car seat to take him out the hospital.
Crazy, bro.
Now you think about that.
That's crazy you say that. Honestly, like, because the same banks that are financed that car will turn around and insure their key people in their company.
Yeah, of course.
Like literally, like the key people in their company, they're gonna insure them. Just like the key people in your family need to be insured. The bank is doing that, but they're requiring you to have car insurance before you pull off that lot. Required.
Required.
They won't even finance the car if you don't have that.
Nope. But yet your life, your baby's life, means nothing. As long as you have a $20 car seat from Walmart, you good.
You good.
It's crazy, man.
You're on your way.
You're on your way. And you know, I think about this in a very, very often, man. You see the amount of children who develop leukemia, who develop some type of illness, and you think to yourself, well, what if there was a system to encourage, not force, but to encourage these type of benefits at birth? So maybe a year later, when your child, God forbid, knock on wood, but when your child develops some kind of stupid illness, you have $1 million somewhere to take care of her or him.
Yeah, even autism, bro. Like they catch it.
Yeah,
they could catch it before, because I don't know if people know or not. Like it's if you're not proactive when it comes to the autism cases and the autism spectrum, it's hard to get life insurance for your child.
Oh yeah,
it's extremely hard. And if you can catch it early at birth, like, hey, let's get the insurance when the child is young and when they're born, well, you don't have to worry about that. You just get a simple IUL on your child while they're a baby. Yo, if you put away $100 a month, by the time that baby's 18, like,
you have some good compound accumulated interest.
$100, like people spend that like crazy. So like people don't really, like you said, bro, we major in the minor and minor in the major.
Yep.
The stuff that really matters, like we kind of put that to the side, but we'll go hard to watch LeBron James on TV. We'll go hard to watch the NFL. We'll go hard to entertain ourselves and to soothe the pain away. We'll go hard to do that. But when it comes to dealing with reality, we run from it.
Yep.
And I know our people, we good at that. Like, we're really good at that. Things that have to happen to us multiple times for us to be like, okay, well, I'm going to learn from it. Other coaches, one time, like this COVID stuff, like, them folks gonna learn from. They ain't gonna get caught slipping again with no pandemic. That ain't gonna happen again. That stuff that happened 2 years ago and the pandemic and all of that, because it was coming, but they kept pushing it to the side. That's not gonna happen again. They're gonna prepare. Only got one time to mess up the economy for them to not do it again. Like, that economy means everything to these folks. Everything. If the economy not running, like, America not running, so they like, that's not happening again. They're gonna do whatever they can to prevent anything like that to happen again. But us, we got to see it over and over and over and over again. Like, we still got to sing the same song. Like, it's the same thing when it comes to like the civil rights movement and begging people for, begging them to be accepted or to stop killing us. Like, bro, come on, man. Stop, get out them folks, get out their face begging them to stop killing you. Like, come on, man. We've been humming the same songs for years after years after years,
bro.
And it's like, when does it click in your head to be like, okay, well, let me get my shit together? You know what I mean? Like, let me get this together. Okay, imagine if we had life insurance on all of the kids, everybody, even at your job. You put it on your children. If you don't want to get an outside policy, put it on your kids. That's still a payout.
Exactly.
Now the insurance companies will fight for you if you have all of the kids insured. So work insurance isn't just bad, man. And kind of to go back a little bit, because I want to kind of go through like the supplemental plans, or those plans where companies bring in different insurance carriers like NLG or Texas Life Insurance, I think I've heard of. So companies, they have outside employers have outside insurance companies come in and do their benefits plans, and sometimes you can get a supplemental plan outside of your work carrier. It'll probably be about like $50,000, $100,000, like James said. It's not anything major, but it is something else, and you can take that away if you leave the job. But you're not going to get those same group rates you were getting at that job once you leave. So they get discount. Of course, they got benefits. They get discounts and stuff. But now once you leave, that policy can go up in coverage, go up in price. So now people like, well, why am I paying more? Like,
you was under an umbrella.
Education. It's all education and knowing, you know, and really most of this stuff is just preparation, bro. Preparing for a disaster to happen, like in anything in life. Like, we get caught with our pants down because we procrastinate.
Yep. 100%.
So if you procrastinate and getting insurance and you're just dwelling on your job for the life insurance policy or the health insurance, I mean, the health insurance benefits are okay. But for life insurance, and you have that mortgage there that is $300,000 and your policy is only worth $100,000, you still leaving your folks lacking.
Yep. There's
a slip in that in your financial planning. So if something does happen to you and you only had a $100,000 policy and your mortgage is worth $300,000 and your wife doesn't work, say you're the breadwinner and you only work, you leave her in a situation to where she has a mortgage to pay, and if she doesn't know how to work or anything, she's never worked, that's a tough situation, man. Like, you waiting for a foreclosure to happen.
That's true. And
it can easily be prevented. Be prevented by just looking, okay, this isn't enough. It's a simple, $100,000 mortgage, $300,000. That will tell you literally right there that it's not enough insurance coverage.
That's it. And any spouse out there, man, like wives, you shouldn't let that happen. That's number one. You know, because study shows we pass away before you because I don't know, for some reason we pass away before you, right? We put our life at risk more than you do.
Right.
So if you're a spouse, there's no way that shouldn't click that, hey, I mean, I remember my wife having that conversation with me, Julian. I wasn't comfortable with it at all. That was before I get into the life insurance industry. But as a spouse, as a wife, think about it. You got 2 kids, 3 kids, you have children, and you married. I mean, what happened? Like, think about this. Husband go to work, and guess what? Don't come back home because of a knucklehead drunk driver, you know, maybe kill them or get them paralyzed. What are you gonna do? Can your income sustain what both income used to sustain? Can you hold that by yourself? 9 out of 10 is a no. So as a wife, as a spouse, I think it's a big responsibility on you to encourage your husband to get life insurance. It's just a no-brainer. And to piggyback on one of the things you were saying, I know there's a video that was circulating on TikTok. This guy was saying that if every black person had life insurance, the killing of police killing would drastically decrease. It would stop. Because if every time one of us go down, they pull the trigger, and your family receive $5 million, think about it. You think that will keep going? They would be in a lot of trouble. So to me, listen, all of us should be strapped up with life insurance. Every single one of us. Because what we need to understand is that people who take advantage of the system or of building wealth, life insurance play a major component on that. Why would the wealthiest person have life insurance when they have all that money? Think about it. Think about it. They're building wealth. Why would they actually want all this stuff they work hard for to be liquidated when they can really, carry the risk to the insurance company? If you have multiple real estate properties, let's just say 5, and you die, why would you want your family to liquidate that, sell a couple properties to bury you? It doesn't make no sense. But if you have a $5 million policy, you die, then guess what? They can sustain themselves and still keep the property for cash flow as you intended it to be.
Right.
So Yeah, man, it's the education. It's the education for us, man. All of us should be strapped up with life insurance.
Easily, like honestly, like that's like the insurance companies will literally fight for you.
Yep.
All that stuff it'll be done. This game is not as hard as we make it. It literally is insurance. And insurance backs everything from police unions to all of these different things in the city. Government is backed by insurance.
Everything.
Which is why they don't tell you and they don't market insurance. And I'm super grateful for platforms like ours here. The company we were with before, PHP, Family First Life, these companies who are targeting people like us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, super grateful for these companies, man, because if it weren't for them, like, our people wouldn't know much about it as where we are, where we wouldn't be where we are now, and our people wouldn't know a lot about this stuff, and they wouldn't be learning that much about life insurance. There's leaders out here, people who are out here leading the way, pioneers in this industry that are trying to get the information to you guys. And really put it in a way where you can digest it and not be too much, which is why we created this podcast, because this is a complex and a very negative and I guess topic and subject in our community. And there's reasons to that. We go back to early 1900s where they used to insure the slaves and do these different things, and then knock on the doors of Black poor people and prey on them with accidental policies and these certain type of policies where people don't know that, oh, this isn't a true life insurance policy. It's just in case you die of an accident. Then they didn't die in the accident and they realized that they never had life insurance. So it's like so many different things that we have to dig up and give people a different perspective with platforms like this and other people who are out there doing it. So I'm super grateful for doing this and giving this to the people, bro. So before we go forward, I mean, just to kind of wrap back into some of the questions and everything, because it is close to the hour soon, we wanted to get into like the claim process of being at work, because this is a very, very important situation. Like James was saying, he was talking to somebody who works at it and claims for a big company. So what would like the claim process look like if you passed away with work life insurance? So does the job get a portion of the policy? Like, how does it work, James? And then how does that claim process look? How would somebody go in and try to get the claim done? And is it tedious? Is it a headache, or how is it?
Well, from the conversation I have with the friend of mine, it's a very complex process, because before the insurance company can do anything to process your claim, your employer must submit proper documents. So think about this. Say you're working somewhere, there's 1,000 people working, and God forbid management is not structured properly. So that insurance company could be sending requests and emails for them to submit documents to actually fulfill the claim. But until somebody actually really get in there and submit it, that's just in a loophole. So these policies take a while to actually pay out. And she was telling me how, you'll be calling these people, you'll be messaging them through email. Nobody really care. Because if you work for a company, you die, well, just hope that it was a responsible entity. Now, once they finally send the information to the insurance company, now they have to start processing your claim. So it's a really tedious thing to actually claim a life insurance through an employer. A lot of the time it's a tedious process, simply because of lack of urgency from whoever has to submit those documents. Now, when it comes to, does your employer or the business receive portion of the death benefits, it really depends on how it was structured. Now, I know for sure when we structure a more advanced life insurance for a company, which call a key person, especially the key person insurance for businesses. A lot of the time, the business is actually the beneficiary, a part beneficiary of the policy of the money. But as for like a big group umbrella plan, I don't believe the employee actually get a cut. But I'm not too certain on how strategic these plans are set up, because it all contingent on the contract the actual employer has with the insurance company. But yeah, it could be a tedious process going through those claims. So that's why, you know, it's important to have your own policy. Why? Because if somebody passes away now, you can literally call Julian. Hey, Julian, listen, this is what just happened. And guess what, James? This is what just happened. Or any agent that is, you know, that's going to do their job. Hey, this is what just happened. So now you have somebody on your side to go fight for you. While you worrying about everything else, we'll be on the phone. We'll give the information for you so you can actually go through a smooth process, knowing that you have somebody that's going to advocate for you. But if it's just work insurance, who's going to advocate for you?
That's the issue. That's the problem there, because those people aren't urgent. Like, it's not an urgent situation for them. If they got a lot going on with their life or whatever, like,
exactly,
at the end of the day, like, your issues aren't their issues, so they may not move as, you know, urgent as if you would have had your personal life insurance person who, or agent or broker, whoever, they do this for a living. So okay, it's their responsibility to handle this. This is why you went through an agent. But this is the result. Something like that is literally the results of you putting the ball in your employer's hand to handle your financial planning. Something as simple as that. Another story that people tend to miss over or skip over is, you know, I have a client right now, and I don't know if I'm not going to use his name because, you know, they didn't get any disclosure or anything, but he worked for the county for about 30 plus years. He worked for the county, and, you know, he worked and worked and worked and worked. By the time he retired, by then his health declined. He had diabetes, you know, heart issues, all of these different medical issues. By the time he retired, he had no clue about the life insurance portion. He's in his 60s and health is deteriorating and doesn't have life insurance. And then tries to go, you know, he was in the Army, tries to go to the VA and get a policy through the VA and gets denied from underwriting because of what was on his MIB report. Congested heart failure, different things like, or, you know, heart issues, high blood pressure, diabetes, being diagnosed with these things. And by that time, you're in your 60s, going into your 70s. You know, you go through these health issues if you're not taking care of your body. And then when it's time to go and get life insurance outside of work, you have to go through underwriting now. And now it's harder. The policy is more expensive. The whole time nobody knew he didn't have any life insurance coverage once he got out of work.
Wow.
Something as simple as that. With these health issues, though, you know what I'm saying? Like, with these health issues, he's out of work, in retirement, without any life insurance, with a mortgage, you know, bought a new house, got a mortgage, new car, all of these different things. But this is just, most people don't really think about this. This isn't like the average conversation. This isn't a typical conversation you have on a daily basis, not in our community. So at this age, nobody is thinking like, oh, well, if something happened to dad or something happened to, you know, to papa, whoever, granddad, like, dang, like, what's gonna happen to the house? Grandma don't work. What's gonna happen to this? He getting the pension, he getting the money and all of that. But what happens to all of these different things if something happens to them and he had no coverage? You know, thankfully we was able to fight and figure out, like, had to go and look at the MIB report. What was on it? Okay, this information was inaccurate. All right, now let's go back to the company and let's go through the underwriting process again and see if we can get him some coverage. I mean, we got him some burial coverage, but that's about it. He has no coverage for a term policy is too old, and then also the super bad health issues. So all of that time of procrastinating and waiting, you lost because you lost when it came to money. So now it's a bit more expensive, and you lost due to your health issues. When a simple conversation, if somebody would have had that conversation earlier, before that happened, it could have been an easier process. And a lot of people running through that.
A lot of people
transition out of work with nothing. 30
it's
years,
sad, man. It's sad.
30 years.
It's really sad. It's really sad. I've seen quite a few of these cases over the years, man. It's not pretty. I got people that's like almost crying because they cannot get life insurance. It's too late, and here we are. How I believe we should see ourselves as human beings, and I said that so many times. The system does not see you as a human being. The system does not see you as with any emotion. They see you as a number that is decreasing value as you grow. And I'm just relating this to life insurance. So this is why the older you are, the more expensive life insurance get for you, because you're deteriorating. You're going closer to mortality. You're losing value. Your number is losing value. Your social security is losing value. So if you think about yourself as an entity, the more value you lose by not taking care of yourself, the more expensive things get. It's that simple. So people need to really understand, man, like, look, we're here to bring in this content. People here listening to us. What's funny is I speak with a lot of people when I get on the phone with them for different things. Oh man, I've been watching your show. Oh man, I've been seeing this, I've been saying that. Well, great. I'm just hoping you take proper action.
Right. What's the next step now?
Like, what's the next step? I'm just hoping you open an IUL for yourself so you can have some tax-free money coming your way later, because we're bringing it to you. And that's just, we're going to do our part. But understand that systems in America don't see you as a human being. That's why when you go to the court system, sometimes you feel like somebody is wrong or whatever the crime may be, but they come out like clean, is because there's a system, there's a certain way things goes. Well, same goes to your life. The older you get, they look at you as a number. They say, hey, in 20 years, you're probably most likely gonna die. So we're gonna charge you $600 a month to cover you for $40,000 or $80,000, whatever the number may be. So when they look at a baby that's just born or a new person that's healthy and say, hey, you may live a long time. So for $30, we're gonna give you $500,000. That's all it is. So the longer you wait, the more value you lose, and the more expensive things gonna get for you. I don't know how much clearer we gotta get this to you.
That's in anything, bro. Like anything. If you're investing, like most people think when it comes to investing, they just think that they hope and pray that everything's gonna align and be all right. But that's not how stuff works.
Nope.
Nothing works like that in this world. This isn't it's not magic, bro. Like you have to literally put things in order. Like before, you have to put them in order for it to work. Like you just can't hope that, okay, well, one day it's gonna work out. Like I sit down with people and they be like, I want to retire in like 3 or 4 years and I want to be making $7,000 a month. And I'm looking at what they currently have, and I'm like, bro, like how? Like that's a pipe dream. That's far away. Like that's not happening. Like you're far away from that. But that's reality. A lot of people think that they'll have an idea of what they think that they should be making, or they'll have an idea of what they want to do, but no action plan behind it, no savings plan or investing plan behind those, those ideas. Like, yeah, your idea is cool. However, who said that your business is going to reach $1 million?
Exactly.
Like people don't think about what if it can go wrong. And I remember I used to be that way. until I had to get into finances and realize like, okay, this is a step-by-step process. And most people think that they can save their way to wealth or, go through a business. Not everybody's entrepreneurs.
Exactly.
Not every business is going to make it to see multiple millions of dollars and all of that. That's a small number compared to the majority of population. So when you're thinking of, investing or anything, when you the longer you procrastinate, the harder it is to catch up. That 10-year span that you wait to start investing can be a additional $800,000 that you could have had made early in those 10 years when you waited from 25 to 35. Now you got to make up that $800,000 and put in quadruple of what you could have put in 10 years if you would have started earlier.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with yourself. If you're not taking action with yourself early and preventing, all of these different things from happening, it's the same thing as practice, bro. Like it prevents it's for performance if you practice and prepare. So, that goes for me, you, James, like all of us.
All of us.
We're none of us are perfect. So there's things that we need to work on every day. But we all got to challenge each other to get there.
Exactly. And I feel like one of the challenge, man, as you're listening to this, people listening to that, I feel like people should be requesting, going to the agentandbroker.com and requesting for one of us to connect with you and, say, Julian, out of curiosity, I just want to know what my numbers look like. This is the situation. This is where I want to be. This is the goal. Financially, where am I? Well, what would you recommend? And from there, we'll say, okay, you want to make $6,000-$7,000 a month after you retire. This is where you need to focus. This is the vehicle that would work best for you, and so on. I'm sitting in my office today, with one of the new agents, and the power of visuality, the power of seeing. So we're running an illustration for an IUL for college saving. And it was just an illustration. He's new. I wanted to show him because one of family member have kids. He want to show them that product. I said, good. Let me show you how to structure this properly. So we went ahead. The baby is 3 years old. We have the parent putting $4,200 a year. $4,200 a year into that policy. By the time they get to college, for 4 years, they stop paying the policy and receive $26,000 a year for college.
Beautiful.
$26,000 a year for college for tax 4 years.
Yeah, tax-free money.
And then,
I said tax-free money.
Tax-free money. And then on the 5th year, you go ahead and continue to fund that $4,200 again. Which still get enough accumulation where they can actually open a distribution and retirement again, tax-free.
It's crazy.
Think about that. That's what people are using out there right now. People talking about that what is it called, that what they call that college plan, the
529 savings plan.
529 saving plan. Like, oh my God. If you know what's out there, that's probably the worst thing you can do to your kids.
Anything you see people put out there and most people push it or the government is involved with it, run away. Like
with the other way.
Yeah, like 529 has too many stipulations for me. Just my opinion. Way too many. And it can't do that what James just said. When you go to college, boom, it's gonna pay you out some money, and then after that you're gonna keep paying it back. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to keep that policy and your money keeps working for you as you're pulling from it. So, man, that's that is major. Like, and like you were saying, people to reach out for us at theagentandbroker.com for sure. And I've been having, some of my colleagues, people I went to school with, and they're tuning into the podcast and getting on this, and they're like, yo, I'm gonna hit you back when I'm gonna hit you up when I start practicing saving $250 a month so I can open my policy. That, bro, that's major. That mean a lot to me.
Good. Yep.
because that means they're really listening to the content. Because if we go back to a few episodes back with Hassani, when he was talking about the infinite bank, and he said that most of his clients, he wouldn't start them anything lower than $250, and he would make them save $250 for a year straight. Then when a year later, we're going to go and open your infinite banking policy and put the whole amount that you save into that policy. Now you just start over. Now you got a full year paid for up front.
Exactly. Yep.
And you just start saving the same amount or a bit higher the next year. But when people hit me up like, yeah, I want to do this, I'm going to start, I want to practice my habits now, bro. That made me like, okay, yeah, we doing the right thing.
We're doing the right thing, bro.
People are listening to it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
we
sir.
talk about the right stuff. Like, people listening to it, the information got to get out there.
Exactly. And this is information you're not gonna get on a daily basis. And this is facts. You know, this is things you're gonna run the numbers. You're gonna see what the numbers look like, and from there you make a decision. The worst thing you can do to yourself is not doing anything. That's the worst thing you can do to yourself. Because at the end of the day, life goes on. You know, life gonna go on with or without you. So do you want a better future or not? You know, and I was listening to I don't know if it was a podcast, I don't remember. But as I was going for my walk, I was listening to something. The gentleman actually put the blame on the baby boomers for today's economy. And I was trying to listen to his main point. I couldn't connect it, but I kind of see what he was saying. Baby boomers actually wasn't fully educated about finances. So which means my parents are baby boomers. Your parents, if you're in your 30s, probably baby boomers as well.
Yep.
Where these guys work their butt off. I'm talking about hard labor and have minimal understanding on how money works.
Minimal, bro.
Minimal. So
these articles out there, man.
Huh?
I said there's articles out there saying how the baby boomers failed us, bro.
Yo,
like, you can look this stuff up, man. Like, I can go on the whole
crazy.
episode about that.
I mean, it's definitely accurate, Julian, because you think about it. If baby boomers did a better job, now it's up to us to carry the weight. We're not complaining. We're just saying some facts.
Oh, yeah.
If baby boomers had actually did their financial job, then us as a generation will be mentally more better when it comes to how money work. The money don't go under the mattress, man. It goes into a compound interest account.
Right.
You know, it doesn't go in the bank. It goes into a compound interest account.
Seriously.
That's it. So if we had that information when we was early, because my kids right now, if they decide to be knucklehead, that's on them. I know what daddy has. That makes sense. I'm gonna instill that to them. So that's the best I can do. But if our parents, man, the baby boomers, the Gen X, if they really understood the money game and teach that to us at a young age, man.
Yeah, it was just, they had a lot. They were more invested in their employers than anything. So at this point in time, like, the only advice they can give is what they did, which was go get a job, go do this, sit on your job, get your benefits at your job, your work insurance, your health insurance, boom, 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 saving your 401k, because that's what they did.
Yep.
And that is, we got to see the aftermath of it, right? So we're looking at, okay, yeah, that didn't work at all. And you got people like yourself, me, even Josiah, who's on here, our intern, he's on here right now. This dude is freaking 17 years old, and this dude is his intelligence and intellect is higher than a freaking grown adult, bro. Like, he's doing work at a effective and higher level than most adults do it.
Yep.
And getting it and happy and eager and hungry to do more of it. And he's only 17, still in high school, going to be a senior this year. But his level of work and his work ethic is crazy. Like, James tell me about him every day. Like, bro, this dude is crazy, bro. You should see this
100%,
guy.
man.
Like,
He'll come to the office.
He begged
before
me. He begged me to go to the office. He said, Julian, first things first, can I please come into the office? You guys have an office. Can I please come in the office? I don't want to work from home. It's the first thing he told me. I was like, Usually, kids now would like to work from home. He wanted to go to the office. And James was just blown away when he came to the office. He got right to work.
Yep.
He jumped on the phone like, yo, can I get, you got some more calls for me to make? Like, dang.
Straight up.
He eats this work up, man. It's crazy. I'm like, whoa. But it's like, stuff like that. I'm sure he's seen the same thing where, from his parents and older generation, where he's like, yeah, I'm not doing that. I want to go down the finance path. He told me, he's like, I want to be in finances. And when the day we met him, he was like, I want to learn. He came up to me first, like, I want to learn about finances. I want to, I'm looking to be a financial advisor. I don't know what it is. So I was like, oh, really? Go talk to James. Go talk to James, do with James. And he got James's number. And from there, it was all to the races. Dude was ready to take the opportunity and run. And like, he's been a huge blessing. And the reason why, we're advancing here with the agent and broker. So, and connecting America as well. So, like,
very smart young man.
It's crazy to see what the baby boomers did, and I'm not, like you said, let's not blame them. At the end of the day, they did what they knew, but it's pretty on much. Us to take what they gave us and take it to the next level. Now, we're creating now. We're making, different. We're taking those risks that they didn't take. We're doing the different things. Trying to do the opposite of what they did to try to make a better life for ourselves and our family to come.
Yes, sir. That's facts.
Yep. But I think that covered all our questions tonight, right? So I guess to end it, the last thing was, should I sign up for my work insurance plan? And, I'll give you my recommendation here. I'm not going to say not to sign up for it, but like James said, after today, look into that plan. What are the contingencies in it? What does it have? And all of these different things. How much coverage are you getting? If it is beneficial to you, take it. If not, if you feel like you're savvy enough, then just go on the outside and don't take any of that. But I'm gonna let James give his opinion on that as well.
Yeah, for sure, man. I would say definitely look into the plan. And typically, these plans are either free or they're like $2 a paycheck. So first and foremost, I'll probably give it great consideration in signing up for that plan. Okay. Now, as a wise individual, paying $2 a paycheck, it's not really a lot of money. If you get paid every week, that's like $8 a month. That's not bad, You have 10 grand, 25 grand. That's not bad at all. Okay. But as a responsible adult, you must understand that this is a basic plan and it's not enough for myself. So how much can I get qualified outside of work? So that's when you reach to a professional, reach to myself, reach to Julian. Either way, we run some quotes for you. We'll run an analysis, do a financial analysis to make sure that where your budget is at, and then we can actually recommend something that would work for you. And from there, that, hey, listen, I'm 100% covered. Even if I was to leave my job in 2 years from now, I can take my personal insurance with me. So it don't matter if I leave that job insurance. Because one thing you need to understand is, if you have a job insurance and you have your personal life insurance, when you move, your premium don't change when you go to a different job or to a different career. You still maintain the same premium. But if you move in 2 years from your job, and that's when you decide to get insurance outside of your job, now insurance is going to be more expensive outside of your job because you're 2 years older than you were. So that's why you must get life insurance while you were young today. So get some free quotes. Go to the agentandbroker.com, request a free quote, and then we got you, man. And I know we mentioned our licenses in Florida, but we license in different states as well. Well, what are some of the states you license on, Julian?
Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Maryland, Virginia, what is that? Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Ohio, Michigan, Texas, almost covering the Northeast and the East Coast. Really, the goal is to get us all over the country.
All over. So, which means wherever you are in the U.S. right now,
we'll get there.
We'll get there. Like we can get you covered wherever you are. So it's not just Florida. We just located in Florida, but as brokers, agent and broker, so we are all over the states. So reach out to us. Go to the agentandbroker.com and request a free analysis. We get in a Zoom call with you. We go over everything with you. At least you know where you are today. So I would highly recommend you take action today.
Absolutely. 100% action oriented, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Make the move. You hear the information, just take the next step. Reach out. That's the first thing you need to do, and we'll get there. We'll keep you accountable. We'll hold you to it. We're looking forward to hearing from you guys. Again, reach out to www.theagentandbroker.com. Fill out the form there if you're interested in any type of life insurance, or any type of information we can give you guys. Definitely reach out if you want us to look into your work plans. We're open to doing that as well and providing some insight there. But hopefully you learned a lot tonight. You got some good information, some valuable information. Again, go to the Agent and Broker podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify. We're streaming on all of those platforms. And then also you can listen to us on YouTube. You can go and watch all of these episodes as well. But again, guys, we got some more guests lined up in the near future. Right now it's me and James. That's cool. Get to meet with the agent and broker, so no complaints.
Yes,
but we will have more guests for you guys, and quality guests, people from all different industries, from life coaches to corporate coaches to different other insurance people and financial advisors and people from all over, man, like entrepreneurs from tech side of things. And I want to get them all in here so you guys can see the different perspectives when it comes to business in general. But for here right now, this is about life insurance, and we want to continue to bring you guys that information about life insurance, health insurance, anything in the insurance industry. We the go-to guys, like James say, the kings of insurance in Orlando.
That's it. That's it, man. We're claiming that king of insurance of Orlando, Florida, in our local market. And I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna come up here, Julian, in this podcast. I'm gonna have my crown. Okay, not even being cocky. I'm gonna have my crown. I'm gonna have my whole robe as a king, and you're gonna see he's the king of insurance. Okay, so let that sink in for a minute.
Sure, no doubt, bro. But okay, another episode in the books. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Thank you, Kristen, Josiah. Our day one supporters for sure. We look forward, Josiah. Hopefully, we could bring you aboard and get you up here one day and talk and speak about your journey. So, thank you for tuning in. Everybody who always tunes in, like, share, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the routine, but.
Yes, sir.
Me and the agent, and I'm out.
James the broker, deuces.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a good one. Let's get it.
The agent and the broker put you on the right path. And if it ain't adding up, then do the right math. And when you wanna come up, some might laugh. But them be the types to be the overnight staff. Always be a worker. We tryna be some owners. Sometimes might strike out, sometimes we hitting homers. But one thing's for sure, when the money gets uncovered, hit the agent and the broker. Say thank you to my brothers.